Hey, what's up, fellow boxing fans? Well, alright, we are continuing with another boxing prediction video. Yeah, alright. Well, first fight is Joshua Franco versus Kazuto Ioka. Yeah, so this is a rematch of the fight they had in on New Year's Eve, which ended as a majority draw. Franco was given um, the verdict by one referee, the veteran Stanley Christodoulou. I didn't know actually he was still alive. Well, anyway, the other two had a draw. So Franco is a WBA champion, and Ioka was the WBO champion, but I don't know what happened. Was he stripped probably because it says only the WBA super flyweight title is at stake. Hmm. So uh, Ioka was the guy who ended the long winning streak of Donny Nietes last year also. And yeah, before he had reigned as a WBO champion for a while. He made 6 defenses, including the one against Franco. Yeah, he comes from a, you know, pretty prominent boxing family. He's the nephew also of former world champion Hiroki Ioka, and he actually has won world titles at minimum weight, light flyweight, flyweight, and super flyweight. So 4 weight classes. Wow, and 5-time champion. He won 2 at minimum weight. So that's our man Kazuto Ioka. He's now 34, so he's kind of getting on in age, but still, not that old. While Joshua Franco is 27, so he has got that advantage. 5'4", both guys are actually. Ioka has half an inch height advantage, but actually Franco has 2.5 inch reach advantage, which can be more significant, of course. Well, Franco, he only has one loss. That was in 2018. He got stopped by Lucas Fernandez in Puerto Rico. Yes, he hasn't fought since. Sorry. He also fought Andrew Maloney 3 times, actually. And because one of them ended as a no decision. Yeah, so this fight is in Japan, so Ioka will be the guy who, just like the last one, Ioka may, be the home favorite, but still, he's gonna have to really fight hard if he wants to win this fight. Yeah, I think the last fight may have kind of. I didn't watch it, but it's possible that it kind of revealed or exposed that Yoka might not be, in his very best, at his very best anymore. And as I said, he's 34, so he's been around for a while. Has had, not that many fights, but many world title fights. Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's had like only how many? One, two, three, four, six fights before he became the champion for the first time. Since then He only had a couple of non-title fights. Wow, so that says a lot. He's got 32 fights. Hmm. So only 8 of them were not for a world title. All right. So anyway, let's not drag this out. What I think will happen. Well, I don't know really. Either Franco will win this time and get the decision, or it will be another draw. I hope not. But I think I favor Franco slightly, simply because he's the younger, fresher guy. That's it. But I think, of course, he's not a puncher, so gonna have to go the distance this time as well. All right. So Carlos Adames versus Julian Williams at 160. That's a pretty interesting fight. Julian J Rock Williams, the former briefly uh, IBF champion at light middleweight, or actually unify IBF and WBA, and IBO champion when he beat Jared Hurd. That was a huge upset, but since then he's done nothing really to show that that wasn't just a one-off thing. That victory was just a freak occurrence. Obviously, just a matter of him getting the better of her. Yeah, on that night. Yes, and Mr. Adames, 22 1 and 0, 17 knockouts. So he can hit, and he won the WBC interim title, which he is defending here by a knockout in 3 rounds against Juan Macias Montiel. Before that, he also beat Sergey Derevianchenko, who you seen, last weekend. If you've seen that fight, he's that sure not a Finnish fighter, and that happened in 2021. This fight, where Adames beat him in a close fight by majority decision. So that is so far his defining win. Yeah. Well, I expect Adames to win this fight because Julian J Rock Williams has only had one fight at middleweight so far, and he fought a journeyman in an 8 round fight. Didn't really, I mean, he did win clearly, but yeah, didn't really impress, and 33 years of age. He's obviously, seen better days already, and yeah. He beat some other good fighters like Nathaniel Gallimore, Ishe Smith, sorry, even though Smith was likely at the end of his, past his prime. But anyway, yeah, he has a pretty good record, but he also surprisingly lost to Vladimir Hernandez, after being stopped by Jason Rosario in 2020 when he lost the titles. So, here he will definitely have to work hard to win this fight, but I don't see it. I mean, like Adames is the younger guy by 4 years. He is by far also the fresher guy because he hasn't fought the, yet the kind of the level of opponents that her Williams he fought her and Jamal Charlo, who was the first guy to knock him out. Also, he fought Jason Rosario, a world class fighter, definitely, even though he has since gone downhill. But yeah, I mean, uh, uh, I mean, Adonis just seems like he's on a roll right now, and he's only had one loss so far. It was in a close fight against Patrick Teixeira, and he was knocked down. That's why he lost Otherwise, it would have been a draw, a majority draw. So yeah, he's a really good, solid fighter. Uh, he can hit. He can hit definitely. Maybe not a devastating puncher. I don't know, but he definitely has power. So I actually expect him to stop Julian Williams. Actually, yeah, but I don't know when, in which round. But not early. Probably not early. Not before the fifth, anyway. Definitely. And but who knows? I mean, he did knock out this guy Montiel in 3 rounds, but that guy was not as famous. Well, he had gone the distance against Jamal Charlo. Wow, actually, not that long before. So that's very impressive. He drew against Hugo Centeno. Yeah, I mean, this guy, Adames, is clearly one of the best fighters in 160 right now. One of the strongest names and contenders. And now he's a champion as well, although it's an interim. So I think he will definitely stop Williams eventually. If not, it's possible maybe Williams can survive, but I don't see him winning this fight, definitely. Yeah. And finally, there's a heavyweight fight. Jared Anderson, yeah, the big American hope, returning against Zhan Kossobutskiy, who is from Kazakhstan. Yes, so both guys are unbeaten. Anderson 14 and 0, all knockouts, 23 years old, and Kossobutskiy is 19 and 0 with 18 knockouts. So these are big punchers, man. They are knockout artists. Well, Kossobutskiy is 34, a lot taller, but still, he looks, to be in good shape. Yeah, and had his last fight in November, won by knockout in 3 rounds against an unbeaten guy, Hussein Muhammad. Yeah. While Anderson, he last beat in April, he stopped George Arias in 3 rounds by corner retirement. Before that, he stopped Jerry Forrest in 2 rounds. Yeah, so Milian Rocha in two. Yeah. He scored, I mean, most of his knockouts come within 2 rounds. Yeah, so this guy's got definitely a promise, but I think this fight will definitely show just how much promise he does have. Because this will be his first true test, against Kossobutskiy, who is really both a powerful puncher and just a solid fighter, overall. And got a little bit more experience, even though he hasn't fought really. I mean, his best name on his record is Joan Duhopa from France, who may know from when he fought Wilder. He lasted until the 11th round, I think. And Kossobutskiy, he stopped him in 5 rounds, corner retirement last year in May. All right. Yeah, I mean, of course, you gotta favor Anderson here because he's the young guy. He's a little bit, how do you call it? He has more hype, definitely, built around him far more than Kossobutskiy, who I actually only heard of maybe a year ago, something. So yeah, he's definitely been more, in the, away from the limelight, while Anderson has been in the limelight for a while now. But this is a great chance for Kossobutskiy as well. If he can win this fight, then of course, world title shot is around the corner, pretty much. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, the height difference is insignificant. Anderson an inch taller at 6'4". Yeah, he's got 78.5 inch reach. I don't doesn't stand how big Kossobutskiy's reach is, but yeah, I expect not much smaller anyway. Yeah, so what do I expect? This fight is for actually a 10 rounder. Well, I do expect it actually very possible that it goes a distance because this is the first time, I mean, for both, that they are facing somebody who is solid, very solid, and in their prime as well. So, as I said, both have defeated guys who used to be, solid, even though arguably Kossobutskiy has a better name. His best name is better than Anderson's best name so far. That's even though he was no longer, nowhere near his prime. That guy do hopa. But anyway, still, in the meantime, on the other side, I mean, Anderson, as I said, is far more has far bigger expectations. You know, yeah, connected to him, and I would be surprised actually if he lost this fight. But anything is possible. So anyway, I think Anderson will probably, if he does win by a knockout, it will be like in the. Well, the problem is he is used to winning by an early knockout, so he's only got one in the sixth round. I see before. Yes, well, Kossobutskiy is another guy. He also has his share of early knockout, but also has knocked out a guy in the 10th round. I see, so yeah, he's a guy who can win a late knockout. So if Anderson fails to put him away early enough, who knows what can happen? Maybe Kossobutskiy can bounce back and stop him in the later rounds. So whatever happens, it will be a good fight. I expect it. So anyway, I guess I lean slightly more towards Anderson to win, but maybe on points, actually. All right, so that will be it for now. All right, see you until the next time. Ciao. Bye.